Hello friends, this is Bhushan and we are learning about constitutional, administrative and judicial developments during British era. Till now we have seen the Regulating Act, then Pitt's India Act, Charter Act of 1793, Charter Act of 1813 and 1833. Now we will look into Charter Act of 1853. Some of the important provisions are: Company was to continue possession of territories unless the Parliament provided otherwise. Strength of Court of Director was reduced to 18. Company's patronage over the services was dissolved. Means the services were now thrown open to a competitive examination. The law member became full member of the Governor General's Executive Council. Separation of executive and legislative functions of government of British India progressed with addition of 6 additional members for legislative purpose. Earlier in Charter Act of 1793, the separation of revenue and judiciary was happened. Here in 1853, separation of executive and legislative function of government of British India progressed with addition of 6 additional members for legislative purpose. Local representation was introduced in the Indian legislature. Again, it becomes important. The question can be asked, in which act the local representation was introduced in Indian legislature. So it is in Charter Act of 1853, even before the 1857's revolt. The legislature wing, which was called as Indian Legislative Council. However, a law to be promulgated needed a assent of Governor General, and Governor General could veto any bill of the Legislative Council. These are some of the important provisions of Charter Act of 1853. Now we will look into Act of 1858, which is called as the Act for Better Government of India. The provisions are the before provisions we will look into the reason for passage of this act. 1857's revolt exposed the company's limitations in administering under the complex situation. So British government passed this act where India was to be governed by and in the name of Crown through Secretary of State and Council of 15. The initiative and final decision was with Secretary of State. Then the council was to be just advisory in nature. Thus the dual system introduced by the Pitt's India Act, that is Court of Directors and Board of Control. That system came to an end. Governor General became Viceroy. His prestige, if not authority, increased. Then comes the Indian Council Act, that the year is 1861. Again, this act is also important because a lot has changed since 1857's revolt. So this act will give some responsible, or will try to give some responsible elements in the governance. So it marked an advance in that the principle of representative of non-officials in legislative bodies became accepted. Laws were made after due deliberation. Laws making was no longer exclusive business of executive. The portfolio system was introduced, which was introduced by Lord Canning, laid the foundation of cabinet government in India. Each branch, what is portfolio system? It is where each branch of government having official head and spokesman in the government who has responsible who was responsible for its administration. Then another important point of this act is it laid the foundation of legislative devolution by vesting legislative sorry powers in the government of Bombay, Madras and other provinces. So we have seen that the centralization process was started with 1773's Regulating Act, and which peaked in 1833. Now the devolution process has been started through this 1861 Act. So this is sufficient for this lecture. The next act we will look into next lesson. Thank you.